Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing okay. I won't be too long on this particular live stream. So Monday mornings, other than work, I try to leave myself a good half hour to kind of go through, usually right around lunch, go through current events, see what the hell's going on this week. A lot of it is more work information, right? What's the market doing? Who got bought out by who? Did some company declare bankruptcy? Stuff like that. But today I read an article stating that the second individual who tried to delete the presidential candidate, Trump, apparently left a box with a friend a couple of months ago. Hey, good morning, Southern Tier, Jason, Vision, Loretta. Left a box with a friend saying apparently like, don't open this until such and such time. And when the individual got arrested, law enforcement, the friend who had the box was like, oh shit, he left me this box. He forgot about it, I guess. So he called the law and they opened the box. And hey, Teresa, hey, Brian. And they opened the box. By the way, the chats are jumping on me, so if I missed you, I apologize. And it had a letter in there saying this was an assassination attempt. I'm sorry, I failed. And it had 6 cell phones, ammunition, a bunch of oddball evidence. And it's, you read the article and you're like, okay. It's like, if I don't live to talk about it, this is the box, you know what I mean? Like something out of a TV show. And then the first comment I read under this article is, wait a minute, so he mailed this box or gave this box to his friend 2 months ago? And then, so they're wondering if this same individual had attempted earlier to make an attempt on Trump's life and failed. Hey, Shorty. And chickened out, or if he gave the box and I guess he would, I don't know. It makes no sense to me. The news is also saying that the first shooter, who was deleted by the Secret Service and the SWAT team guys, Pete's not driving, need my daily dental roaming for road rage. Yeah, no kidding. No, I'm in the parking garage right now. I was actually quite impressed by the level of stupid on the road earlier. The cops were having a field day with some people, let's put it like that. But yeah, they're saying the first shooter, they may never know the motive. Like, I find it odd that I'm shocked they caught the second guy. And then I'm wondering if he's gonna have an incident in prison, if Puff Daddy is gonna have an incident in prison. Like, there's so much weird going on right now, and is it all smoke and mirrors? And if so, what are we distracting from? What's happening that we're not seeing? Hold on, Pete. The alphabet. Oh shoot. Alphabet groups have plenty of stuff to plan. Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't, like, and I get it. Like, he left his, well, I will, if you're reading this, I am no more. And, that kind of thing. Okay, I get that. But 2 months ago, and he knew he was going to fail. So did he have a different box he was going to send if he succeeded? Like, or did he send that box and chicken out previously? Stupid on the motorways is Las Vegas. Yes, Jason, I drove in Las Vegas when I went to visit. By the way, the area around the Hoover Dam is very cool, both as scenery and also geologically, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I got nerded out by all the rock faults by the dam, but yeah, Vegas, I've seen some of the driving there. That's interesting. But yeah, so they don't know his motive. The guy had a Ukraine flag painted in his head. For the second guy, I don't know about the first guy. Now they're putting pictures of the same group of people we saw with Mr. Epstein with Mr. Puff. So is the attempted deletion of Trump a distraction from the perversion of these rich elites, or are the rich elites a distraction from something else? Like, it's almost head spinning. Hey, Pilgrim. Hey, Sherbear. I don't even know what to make of it. It's just bizarre. But what I will tell you is they had a very quiet hearing in Congress yesterday or Friday. I can't remember when. And basically, hey, Niels, what's going on? I barfed at the Hoover Dam. Did you barf from altitude at the Hoover Dam because you got dizzy, or did you inflict nausea upon yourself in Vegas and then go and barf on the dam? I'm super curious now. Roadkill. Hey, Roadkill, what's going on? So this congressional hearing is saying we are not ready to pick fights with multiple people at once. So I'm wondering, are we being distracted from the fact that we're like with our hands over our eyes going la 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 into World War III, and they're trying to hide that from the general public so they don't freak the hell out? I don't know. The guy who was arrested after the attempt at Mar-a-Lago had a firearm with the serial number removed. And oh yes, there was also the hearing about sovereignty, yes, with the WHO. Every time I say the WHO, I think of like the band the WHO. But anyway, Welcome to the Machine, which is kind of interesting that, yeah, anyway. The serial number was removed. They traced his various cell phones to all up and down the East Coast. Hey, take care, Vision. And he's a former felon. He's got several felonies, so clearly he could not have gone to a legitimate gun store or gun show and bought anything. He had to have bought it black market somewhere, or like, back alley kind of purchase. And then he removed the serial number, so that's a felony right there. So it's interesting. Yeah, so Jason, that's another thing. And maybe that's the distraction, that, sovereignty and the WHO. So there's rumors out there that the WHO can confiscate, how do they say, redistribute possessions for the greater good. Sounds like communism, right? And they're not fans. They're trying to declare firearms as a health threat, right? Because if it becomes a health threat, you can take those away and then you can distribute whatever the hell you want because people can't do anything. They're actually sound very afraid of the American citizen. And now they're getting a little bit afraid of the Mexicans and Canadians too, because a lot of the Mexican workers who come back and forth, they're like, no, the WHO can eat a whole ass kind of thing. They said, we ran the French and the Spanish off. We'll pick a fight with the WHO too. And more than likely, like most of southern part of the U.S. would do the same. Actually, pretty much everything in the U.S. except for the two coasts would pick a fight with the WHO. So I don't know. There's a lot of distraction going on, and I'm trying to figure out, what are they distracting us from? Is it the perversion of the elites? Is it, thank you, Winning Streak, I'll check that out later. Is it the perversion of the elites? Is it, we're about to meander into World War III with a president who literally didn't know he was announcing the president of India standing behind him on the podium. I don't know if you guys saw that. And then Joe Biden sat in on the Oval Office meeting. Like the president wasn't there, his wife was. We did not elect her. Like, what the hell is going on? And so, Rodney wanted me to tell you NYP wants to give you I'm assuming that's a wrench and not a wretch. Um, Chacha, if you feel any better, yeah, I think it's just been going to be one of those weeks. Hey, all stopping in, will lurk. Hey, Ed, getting ready to go to vet's office. Okay, bueno. Hope everything works out, Ed. But look, folks, all these distractions, if anything, should just reinforce that. Sit down, look at what you have, and evaluate what you need. Understand what your most likely problems are in your area, right? If you live in Michigan, chances are you're not going to get hit by a hurricane. So preparing as if you're getting a hurricane doesn't make any sense, right? A kayak, well, you could kayak up there, but it doesn't make sense to prep in that way. You could get a blizzard that knocks your power out, but then you have to deal with extreme cold, not extreme heat with no power. It's two different approaches, right? So it's important. Yes, French. It's important to understand your most likely threats in your area, because with all these distractions, right, what I'm seeing in a lot of chats, even not my chats, like even other, I'll jump in, NY Prepper or Angry Prepper or whoever I jump into, and I go say hi, and I mod for a few of these folks, and we'll see people saying, oh, I need to buy this or I need to buy that. And I'd hate for people to waste money. Time for new earbuds. Okay, no worries, Coffee. I appreciate you stopping in either way. It's important for us to maximize our money and our time and our effort. So despite all the weirdness with the assassination attempts, with Puff Daddy and the perverts, and the fact that Oprah has pictures with Epstein, what's the other guy, Harry Feinstein, the fat guy who is the director, that Rose, what's her name? The actress, the redheaded actress, I forgot her name, Rose something, that she claimed he tried to rape her and he raped a bunch of other women, and with P. Diddy. So don't you find it odd that you have these three known guys, one deleted himself, allegedly, one is going to jail for a long time, one's about to go to jail, all trafficking, and you see the same rich people with pictures with all of them. It's just interesting, but there's so much of that going on. It's easy to pay attention to that or the overseas thing, and we kind of can lose focus on what could happen right around you. So try to understand, if you're in an urban environment, you're going to have a very different challenge than, no, not Rosie O'Donnell. Shoot, Weinstein. Thank you. No, Rose McGowan, I think her name is. She played one of the witches in that sitcom with the three sisters that were witches. Witches. I think it was Rose McGowan. And like she claimed that Weinstein tried to rape her, abused her, or whatever. But Rosie O'Donnell. But it's interesting how that same group goes around. Shortages, starter jobs, going to the new influx, debt, and inflation. No, Billy, absolutely. And what's funny, I'm seeing a lot of the immigrants, or like Uber drivers, they got these entry-level jobs or these side hustle type jobs. And there was an older guy who drove me the other night, and I got a lecture for 10 minutes about the evils of communism. He's like, I don't understand. I came here to make a new life with my family, but your president acts like a socialist. This is going to be bad because, Castro did this, that, and the other. And to me, it's kind of ironic that the new arrivals are getting here and going, wait a minute, this is not what I was expecting. So a winning streak, I absolutely agree. I think there are. So it's going to be the economy of the side hustle, folks. So any skill you have that can put extra money in your pocket is a good thing. Any any chance you have to get a write-off on your taxes, legitimately take it. You know what I mean? We're going to have to learn to play the system, because all these distractions, they make no sense. How could you not know? How can a 22-year-old kid with long hair who tried to kill an ex-president have zero social media? I just don't buy that. I don't know many people in general who don't have social media, much less a young person. So where was he? What was he saying? Who was he in touch with? The Lee Harvey Oswald, the weird long-haired kid, and the weird guy at the Trump golf course, they all remind me of each other, right? They're all these whacked out semi-communist Marxist types. But nobody wants to say that out loud on the media. I'll probably get, I showered today. That I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but I will say, don't let those distractions distract you from making the most of your time, your money, your effort. Understand what your local area is. Is your power grid kind of freaky, like it is in Houston? It gets hit by a storm, it goes out. Do you get floods? Do you get hurricanes? Do you get blizzards? If you prepare for the most likely scenario, you're indirectly preparing for a bunch of other stuff. Yep, side hustles, and try to get generic stuff where possible. Yes, you can save a bunch of money if you have medical insurance, depending on how it's set up. Getting, like, if you have, what do they call it? Like maintenance meds, like cholesterol, blood pressure, stuff you have to take like once a day. If you get 90-day supplies, 180-day supplies, you can do it on the pharmacy. It costs the insurance less if you go generic, and it costs you less. Plus, now you have a 6-month supply, and you can usually order a couple of months early for the next batch. So you always have that little extra going on, because if something happens, like COVID disrupts the supply chain, you at least have a couple of months to figure out, okay, I run out of this med in 8 weeks. So how do I find an alternative? But, you know, don't get too far distracted with what they're doing on the media. Focus a little bit more on what your immediate problems may be, whether it's weather, riots, whatever, economy, economic type situation causing more crime. It'll really add in the long term to your benefit to not go and make big purchases for something that you have a very small chance of having happen in your area. And again, it's going to be very different if you live in like New Orleans versus, I don't know, Cleveland, right? Because you have different weather, you have different demographics, different groups, different economics in the two areas, right? So they're affected by different things. And again, like if you're like me and you travel from A to B, it's good for me to know what the local problem is. If I go from Texas to Oklahoma or to Tennessee, they get tornadoes there. We get them here, but not quite as much. So I need to be prepped to understand, okay, if I'm in a hotel and a tornado thing goes off, what do I do? Right? So, but again, folks, try to stay focused. Don't let all this distract. If I hear news that they discovered something new about the first sniper, I will share it with you, but they've been really tight-lipped. Like, you can't find anything anywhere. And to me, it just makes me crazy. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? Does this wrench make me look... That's just funny. But in any case, folks, I wanted to leave you with that. The news this morning was absolutely bizarre, but don't let it distract you from what in reality could affect you day to day. And yeah, as Billy had pointed out, hey, XNYC, you want to be able, if you can make money on the side, if you can trade for something, hey, I can fix your fence if you, you trade a old barbecue grill for fixing their fence, whatever, get what I'm saying. My neighborhood Facebook group has become a trading post. Like people are like, oh, I have this space heater, who wants it? And someone will be like, hey, I'll trade you you have kids, I have a tricycle my kids outgrew, I'll trade you the tricycle for the space heater. There's always something you can do. That's the worst. But in any case, we're stuck in traffic on a highway. Yeah, and speaking of that, I probably need to get to my desk so I can get on the next call. But in any case, folks, be careful out there, be safe, and don't get distracted because the news makes no sense today. All of it is just weird. So, but be careful. Godspeed. I will see you later on this week, but take care of yourselves and try to stay focused. Keep it between the buoys. I'll see you all later on.